Hi there, Geminis. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and we're looking at April 13 through April 19. And what's happening this week is that there's a lot of movement, shall we say. Mercury, your ruler, the planet of communication and clear thinking, is moving out of fast-paced Aries and into Taurus, where it's going to be a lot more grounded and a lot more sensible. Communications, travel, and commerce, which of course are all areas ruled by Mercury, will slow down to a less exciting but more thorough pace for the next 3 weeks. Pluto, the planet of regeneration and rebirth, turns retrograde on Thursday, April 16. And it's going to turn retrograde in your 8th house of joint resources and joint investments. So that really is a time for you and a sign for you not to go ahead with anything, especially if it's for major money where you have to invest a lot of your time, energy, and money in something, because it may not work out the way you want it to. And Mercury is going out of phase in your sign in May. It's a bit early to talk about it now, but I do talk about it in my love and relationship advice article about how it's going to be very strong Mercury retrograde. If you get rid, Geminis, of whatever and whoever is no longer viable or useful over the next couple of months while Pluto is retrograde, you'll be set to welcome in the new when Pluto wakes up in September. So sometimes we need to have an emotional garage sale or yard sale and just chuck everything out, and if anyone else wants it, great. But most likely, give it to Goodwill or give it to a Red Cross, a charity, because sometimes we hold on to things way too long, and it can be material things too. I think that if I've ever watched one of those shows on hoarders, I often think to myself, you must be in a pretty dark place to live like that, because there's absolutely no light that comes in and there's no freedom. And it's just very strange. I see people sometimes driving around in cars packed to the gill with plastic bags and just stuff. And there's barely room for them in the driver's seat. And I wonder what makes you live like that, whether you're living in your car or whether you just like to have a plastic bag on hand. I'm not quite sure. But it definitely is some sort of issue. So clean out your closets. And I mean by, have a big clean out, and also cosmically and spiritually and mentally free your mind, because sometimes you overthink things and you let things sit there and fester, when if you just let them go and think to yourself, this idea or scheme or project is simply not going to fly, let's move on. And you'll find that you move on to something much bigger and better. And speaking of, this new moon on Saturday, April 18, is in Aries, your 11th house of hopes, dreams, wishes, and friendship. So lo and behold, if you do rid yourself of all those things that are simply not going to work for you and never will, you could very well find that an Aries or a Leo or a Sagittarius, a Libran, has some fabulous idea for you. And it may be talked about this weekend. It may take a couple of weeks to get off the ground, but you'll have something new to sink your teeth into, which will be a very exciting process for you. Have a great week, Gemini. It's great speaking to you, and I do look forward to speaking to you again next week.